Dear friends, welcome to the Universal Life Management channel in English. My name is Juliana Apostol. I am a psychologist and translator from Russia and also a ULM volunteer. Now I am living in India and help spread knowledge about new philosophy of life and new modern of social system, which is offered by the modern Indian researcher and philosopher Premjit Sirohi. This March 2022, we visited Bodh Gaya, a famous Buddhist holy place of pilgrimage, and interviewed 4 senior monks, Bhante of Theravada traditions. We asked questions to high-level learned monks who know Buddhism very well, and wanted to get a clear answer and their solution to the social problems of modern society in Buddhist philosophy. If yes, which one? If not, then perhaps more research should be done for answers, and no more looking for them in Buddhist philosophy. Bhante Priyapal of Chakma Buddhist Temple, whose interview you will watch today, spoke to us not only as a Buddhist practitioner, but rather expressed his civil position, because he was concerned about the latest military events in Ukraine. Let's listen and I will make a comment. There is a situation connecting in my country also, in this whole, some worriness about what's happening now. We even can't tell this word as war, so in my country it's special operation, so-called. So, and you know, it looks like many religions always explaining, like be kind, ahimsa, do. So, but people who ever taking like some state decision, it looks like they not so much listen about it. So, and ultimately it's many wars continue again and again. And it looks like religions have no some solution for all this world's problem. What do you think about it?
See, you know, Mrs. Julia, that our world has already witnesses 2 world wars, First World War and the Second World War. Mm-hmm. So this World War has given, you know, tremendous destruction, tremendous killing, and, you know, extreme violence, and just for fulfilling somebody's desire, you know, that maybe you don't like somebody, so there is a differences for country, or differences for nationality, or differences for business interest, or differences for some other purpose, okay? So whatever the reason remains in the world history, that is not the subject. Subject is this 2 world war has given the impression of, by killing each other, by capturing each other, by gun or by bomb or by using weaponry, our human community or global community achieved nothing. Only destruction and destruction. Destruction of houses, destruction of human life, you know, and the destruction of human civilization, nothing more. So then those days, especially after 1945, you know, 46, 47, 48, say around 50s, you know, the leader from different region of the world, from Middle East, from Asia, from Europe, from America, you know, they gather, and some way or other they formulated the idea of the United Nations to have peace and stability around the world, so the international peace can be maintained. But at the moment, which we see in India or outside of India, what the people see before the television screen or through the internet channel, you know, internet platform, that it is a kind of military aggression by Russian forces, you know, ordered by Mr. Putin, the president of Russia, over the land of Ukrainian, you know, people, or the country of Ukraine. So the idea to formulate for the international peace and for international stability around the world, across the world, after Second World War, it's now became like a questionable whether our global community is capable to convince each other for peace, for brotherhood, or for friendly relationship. Because the Second World War, which also the people know around the world, that how Hitler, he killed himself or he taken his own life. Whatever the reason, remain, how he died, nobody has seen it. But anyway, the history says that he killed himself. Please. So this thing, I think, driving us, because the reason is that if I have today small houses, I need maybe 10 houses. If I have maybe 2 cars, I need maybe 10 cars. If I have a company in India, I need maybe 10 companies, 1 company in Singapore, 1 company in New York, 1 company in Malaysia, 1 company in Bangkok, 1 company in, say, in Australia, in Canberra. So these are driving us around. And if somebody is a head of the state or head of the government in any part of the globe, still desire to capture another land, another neighboring state, by using military forces, by using military aggression, which is actually, totally illegal and totally destroying, other people's life. I mean, you send your military and tell them to terrorize by gun, by bomb, by firing bombardment. And innocent people are those who are living in their own country. They don't have that kind of training or that kind of lifestyle they can save from military operation. They are just ordinary people. Maybe they do their own job or whatever it is they do in their own life. Just what they do, run for safety, nothing else. Run for security. Wherever they see, oh, I can save here myself, oh, I can protect myself here. That's why so many people from Ukraine, they are going in neighboring countries. Because to have their safety and security of their own life. And those who are going from your country, Russia, from my country in India, from Sri Lanka or from Bhutan or Thailand or from, say, America, they are diplomat. They are sitting in New York in General Assembly or in Security Council under the United Nations mechanism and system. So they, of course, obviously they have a good training, whether in India, in Russia, or in Sri Lanka, or in Bhutan, or in Nepal, or in Thailand, or in Europe, or in Germany, in Holland, in whatever the country, in Switzerland, in Italy. They have training of diplomacy. They have training of international relation or for the international peace. They are sitting and discussing that how this, the military kind of operation can be stopped, or immediately, stop it, But somehow or others, it is being impossible to stop by that mechanism, which was established after the Second World War. And when the media says that Mr. Putin, he has order, for nuclear arsenal to get active. So it means that if Russia or Mr. Putin use his military arsenal or nuclear arsenal, nuclear bomb, then maybe other countries, they may also use. So it means that if it's happened, if it's really take place, then what happened? We will see in our own eyes, before our own eyes, Third World War. And if during Second World War we see in Hiroshima in Japan, that's bomb, then it's taken hundreds of thousands of people's lives, and it means that we will see even our own lives before our eyes, getting finished. And in return, what we get? Maybe some of the people, those who are in power and position means head of the government or head of the country, they are getting maybe a kind of satisfied, that's okay, I kill these people, okay, I use my military for this purpose, nothing else. Nothing else. So on the other hand, we see in India, there was an emperor Asoka, the Great. A lot of people read because it is in history of India, Initially, he also had that kind of intention, to conquer his neighboring state or neighboring areas, which was controlled by other people, other king. Yes. Because that time maybe small place, there was a small king, particular with, jurisdiction, particular with area or particular location, used to control and then used to have, a small monarchical system. So that kind of the system they use to govern the subject, the public. So this Asoka, he also tried, to satisfy his ego, maybe his interest. That's if I can conquer this neighboring state, or neighboring country by using my own army or military, by military power, then I can be very happy. I can maybe have 2-3 palaces, or 2-3 queens even. That kind of imagination he has. But finally, when he came to know that he realized that by fighting or conquering other country or other houses, I will not get nothing. Then he became follower of Buddha, and he turned to practice Buddhism. So I see that, even I believe that, if Mr. Putin, he take interest, for 10 days meditation. Just for 10 days meditation, if he can spare the time from his busy schedule as a president of the Russia, I'm sure he will not do this kind of things. But he is so far away, he is so far away from the teaching of the Buddha. I think as a president, maybe he has some, Buddha was a person, that kind of thousands, millions of people, around the world follow Buddha. Maybe he knows that kind of things, Mr. Putin. But he never practiced Buddha's teaching, So that is the difference. He maybe knows international diplomacy or UN system. He knows maybe international system, where he sent his foreign minister, where he sent his own diplomat, his ambassador, his high commissioner. He sent all those things. But it does not mean that he knows also himself what his mind is desiring, to conquering the Ukraine, to killing the Ukrainian people, even killing his own army. The armies, of course, they serve also to get salary from the government. All the armies, they don't go for just fighting, to conquering the neighboring country. They also serve their country because they get the salary in a month-wise, Every month they get salary to feed their children, to feed their family behind. That is why they also work in a country in a military service, okay. So it does not mean that all the Russians who are in the military service, they just took the bows, to kill the Ukrainian and conquer the Ukrainian people, Ukrainian government. I don't believe so. But the thing is that the Buddha, the philosopher of India, whatever he has given a technique, how you can be peaceful yourself, by yourself. Even he himself was born in a royal palace, in the royal family. He had a good family. There was nothing, such a sort of things. Everything is available. But why he looks otherwise? Why he looks otherwise? I mean, inside there must be something to see it, to realize it. Then he came under the Bodhi tree, which maybe you have seen yesterday. Yeah. Then he sat down in meditation. Then he was enlightened. So after the enlightenment, of course, there was many people also used to criticize that, he was a healthy man, he never worked, he never go in the field, or he never do any kind of business, nothing else. Many people used to think he's an idle man. He is just, used for nothing. But Buddha always tried to convince them, no, I also work, I also do very hard work. And to free the mind from defilement, to free the mind from negativity, to free the mind of negative emotion. This is also great work. Buddha used to tell this thing. And this negative emotion and defilement and the desire, as I said, to have one monastery, to increase it 10 monastery, to have one car, to increase it 10 car, to have one country, particular country, to conquer the neighboring countries. These desire driving us to killing each other.
But it means whoever going to politics, for them this method will not work. because between them they will don't do meditation. But whoever doing meditation, they like living separate lives. They also don't go to politics. It means, not crossing world of meditation, of peaceful of mind, and real world when like politician fighting for their ego. So, it's like different dimensions it looks. It means it can't be method for get peace through this. Like any wrong politician can during meditation understand that it's I should not go for war. It's okay. Maybe I'm wrong, but for me it looks like little unpractical. Not.
See, I feel those who are interested in spiritual life, so spirituality gives them inner peace. They are much more peaceful in their own practice. The peace which they get by practicing their spiritual technique, or spiritual practices, that makes them very happy, and they understand those things. And the external thing, external diplomacy or external politics, some way or other, they think that is not my interest, that is not my things of interesting part, So due to that, they became much more like an inward, not externally so much involved. They became much more internal and internally involved, internal kind of discoveries they want, or inner discovery you can say in short word. So the inner discovery which they found themselves by practicing some kind of their religious technique or spiritual technique, which bring immeasurable fruits as a result, peace and harmony and how to say stability of their mind, and the mind became free from negativity, the mind became free from defilement, and the mind became very calm. So that's experience make them more effort to lead this way. And the external thing, I would say the political class in every country, they much more have public relation. They relate with the public of the country. They relate public of the state. So that's and whatever the system we have, democracy or non-democratic system, autocratic system, whatever somewhere make somebody head of the government or head of the state and head of the country. So inside maybe the desire arises, okay, this up to this land, up to this border is under my control. Then beyond that, control of others. So how the military capacity of them, how many nuclear bombs they have, how much military forces they have, or air forces or naval forces, how much they have. So I can easily capture them. So that desire making them this kind of things. This like a madness, you want to capture others.
But it not means that whoever become politician, he becoming like mad. Or maybe not so much proper person going to policy. It not some like system which can choose more like proper people with calm mind, like more like know about self, more deep, like more scientific or rational. If they becoming like politician, it can be more good. Or it's.
Yeah, see, today, whatever we see in Ukraine and by the Russian aggression, actually, Mr. Putin would have been much more, lovely and respected if that energy, the energy by the military aggression, by the military operation, he is using, hundreds of millions of dollars by using armored tank,
yes,
by bombardment.
He has some ideas behind, not just simply. Of course, he has himself reasons for this.
Yeah, if he would have used, that energy to fight the global warming, to fight the climate change around the world, I'm sure world community, international community would salute Mr. Putin. That's energy he is using now against the Ukrainian country, Ukrainian people. If that same energy, same money, not in the form of military operation, he may be used to fight the global warming, to fight the climate change, how the nature is, trying to say, sudden eruption of volcanoes, sudden eruption of, like a wildfire, disturbing the life of the human community. So Mr. Putin would have been respected and honored not only in Russia, I think around the world.
Yeah, it's obviously, but means, for example, in Buddhism and religion have no such solution. How, like, influence of such person who looks like doing something wrong in, like, political level? For example, like maybe I'm wrong, like I listen and read that like Buddha Shakyamuni had some siddhis, some supernatural power by which can influence on someone to change. Now, not such kind of
Thank you for
like,
that.
Like some mesmerism or whatever, for change people's mind, such kind of power.
Yeah, that's a. There was, the problem was that Sakyas, the clan or the lineage where Buddha was born, Sakya clan. Then there is another clan was Kaulias, Kaulias. Well, our Indian structure is such, we have different kind of identity, identity. Somebody is identified this way, somebody is identified that way. Actually, we have in our laws also, Indian laws, in Indian constitution also. Which may not found in other countries. Maybe in Russia you don't have, I think so. So still we call it caste, like a scheduled caste, non-scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, non-scheduled caste, other backward class, that kind of, this is in our legal term in India, by law, by constitution, we have that kind of definition among the public of India. So maybe those days also, that when the Buddha was alive, that kind of definition was more or less was there. So the Sakyas and Kaulias, they had a kind of, differences. Not only actually differences, they were like having, physical fighting, because those days nuclear weaponry was not there, and nuclear bomb was not there. At that time, scientists, they could not create the nuclear bomb those days. So Buddha came to know that for sharing the river water, they were going to fight each other or killing each other. Then Buddha himself went there. He appeared there, and the Sakyas, who were the clan brother of Buddha, they thought, oh, Buddha came maybe to help us, because he has supernatural power. He is a so powerful person. He can save us, and we can conquer the opposite party, opposite group. Then Buddha, he went there. He just told them, is there any way out to share equally the water for which you are fighting? Can we divide the water? So you get the same portion of the water, and this Sakyas also get the same portion of water, so that nobody fight each other. Then the Sakyas, they came to know that, oh, Buddha is not our party. He's very neutral. He's very neutral. He just tried to convince them, by fighting, you will not getting nothing. You will not get anything. Just killing each other, nobody can be satisfied. You just kill each other, nobody can be satisfied. It is just destruction, nothing more. So he tried to advise them to, make the equal sharing of the water, for which the differences arises, for which the two communities, they became, face to face to fight by physical, maybe those time, they had a little arm, I think, little handgun, those kind of things they used to fight in those days. So then, of course, the matter was kind of, solved by the Buddha, So Buddha used this kind of technique, and even many a time in Rajagiha nowadays, Rajgir we call it, that time called Rajagiha. So Rajagiha was the place where Buddha was living in the mountain, under the tree, under cave, and actually Gijakuta, mountain. The Gijakuta mountain, Several times, people try to kill Buddha even, by just throwing a stone, big size stone. But Buddha never told his follower, the person who is attacking him by throwing a stone, at the face of the Buddha, you go and kill him. He never told like this. He always says that, okay, here that he is doing his bad karma, which is in future, he is not going to avoid that bad karma, and he is going to suffer for that. He is going to punish for that. And he always said that he maybe created his anger and tried to attack me physically or eliminate me physically, but it does not mean that I also became angry and attack him. Buddha never supported this kind of thing, and Buddha never used this kind of Methodism. He always said, okay, he tried to kill me, and this is not my way, I should kill him also in return. He never used.
It means Buddhist way, it's just education, explanation, what is wrong, what is right, only whatever maximum we can do. Like explain that we should be moral, we should not kill others, we should live in peace. Whoever listen, whoever don't listen, what we can do, they just continue to fight and destroy. So it's okay, maybe not correct, but it's like Buddhist way, just observing whatever happening. They look, it's like nature, it's ultimately nothing to change. This samsara such like. It's like always some fighting happening, some destroying happening, some many wrong happening. Okay, who understand, little become more calm, peaceful, and go out from this. But it's continue, means samsara never finished. What do you think? Or it's possible? Some old politician decide, okay, now I will do meditation and become just. Become more moral, do proper politic, like all politicians. Is it possible or it's not? Whenever samsara exists, it's nothing happening. This problem again and again. What do?
See, as I said that we are driven by desire, but many people may say even during the Buddha's time, many people used to tell the Buddha is an escapist. He escaped from the problem. He never faced the problem. Many people used to tell Buddha.
Escape, he can maximum explain, not escape, explain.
Yes, he explained. Even see. If I tell the story of Angulimala, Angulimala, he had that kind of desire. His teacher, his master, told him that you go and kill the people and collect the finger. Then, you make like a rosary of the finger, you collect from each person one finger, you collect, 1,000 finger and bring before me. That is his teacher told him, and he started following that. He is killing the people, And Buddha saw, this person who is killing now, he saw he has a very good karma in previous life. In his previous life, he did so many good karma. But in this life, he has been kind of mesmerized, by some wrong advice. Some, say manipulated advice, he has been misguided. So it is my duty to save him, to protect him. Then the area that where the Angulimala was, like in a forest kind of area, he went there, Buddha went there, and many people told him, that Gautama, because he was addressed like Gautama, Gautama Buddha. Don't go, Angulimala, he's there. He killed the people. Whoever go, he killed. And collecting the finger. And many people try to stop Buddha. And Buddha, he just silently walked that area. And when the Angulimala saw, what he said, you are the person. You came to, you are the person without fear. People just hear my name, they run away. And you are not running away, you are not doing and coming toward me. You are such person, come, I will kill you and collect my finger, and collect your finger. So as the Buddha approached, closer to him, Then again Angulimala said to Buddha, whoever just hear my voice or my sound, they run away because they fear me, because I kill the people. And Buddha said that, Angulimal, that you are running, I am not running. You said other people runs because for fear of you. You take the lives of the people who comes near to you. But you are running yourself. I am not running. Then he said, Gautama Buddha, I know that you are not liar. You don't tell lie to people. But here you are telling me lie. Angulimala was arguing with Buddha. I see that I am not running. I am here to kill you. And you are coming to me and you said you are not running. Then Buddha explained him how you are running. You are running by anger. You are running by your negative mind. You are running by your mental negativity. You had so much anger inside you and you are running to kill others. You are, killing people. Because that's anger inside your mind, anger inside your body, push you to kill, to do this kind of negative work. Then Buddha said, I don't kill others. Rather, I advise the people not to kill others. So I am very calm, I am very stable, I am very, like a silence, I am very normal, I am very peaceful. See, Angulimal, but you don't see that. And you are telling that you are not running, but I see you are running so fast to kill others. Because your mind is full of negativity, your mind is full of anger, your mind full of impurities. Then Angulimala sensed something. Then he said that, is there a way to free from this anger? He asked from Buddha, and Buddha said, yes, there is a way to get free from this anger. What is the way? What is the way? Then Buddha gradually, slowly taught him how to control your mind, how you, delete from your mind the negativities, the anger, the, defilement of your mind, from the negative emotion from your mind. Gradually, he became follower of Buddha. He became monastic. Then when he became monks or novice of Buddha, he used to go, because Buddha's daily routine was, he used to go with bagging, alms to collect rice, vegetable, cook rice, not uncooked one. Cook rice and cook vegetable from house to house. That is why Buddha used to survive. When the people in the village, they saw Angulimala is behind Buddha, they start running away. Because they know that this person killed so many people of their village, of their locality. Then they were running. And Buddha told the people, no. He will never kill anymore. He will never kill anymore. But still people don't believe. They throw a stone toward the Angulimala. And Angulimala suffered a lot actually. Even they tried to kill him even. Then anyway, Buddha some way or others, they tell them not to, take that kind of negative, activities against Angulimala. So this is one of the example. A person who was trying to kill himself, even Buddha. But when he came to know Buddha's technique, how to become free from negativities, how to become free from anger and desire, as I said.
Yeah, but there is so many Buddhas for every dictators of this world. Otherwise, it's good decision, like just send to some enlightened person to some dictators. Yes, and you understand my point of view?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, but it's how it's possible.
I think whatever I have seen in the news channel in India, Mr. Putin was KGB man, he was in intelligence department, he was in Germany. So maybe the training he got as an intelligent person, he had just all those things, how to gather intelligence from other, secrecy, from other state, other country. Then maybe the way he became up to the level of the president of a country, Russia. Then, of course, very far away from the teaching of the Buddha. I don't think he believed even Buddha. If he used to believe Buddha, at least, attacking others, taking other lives. He used to think himself, I am Siu, Buddha never told all these things to do. So I am president, I have my army, I have my government to follow. It does not mean just the universe given me free license to kill others. It does not make like that. That's Mr. Putin, he's the president of Russia. It does not mean that he have a free license to kill Ukrainian. Nobody has given that free license, which he is trying to use. So it is very unfortunate, but this conflict somewhere or other now they raises the question after the Second World War whether our United Nations system has failed or working. And of course, a lot of the leader in NATO, they always condemning this attack, always telling that this what is happening, it is of course like war crime. Even International Court of Justice given that ruling to stop the military aggression immediately. But if President Putin, if he does not listen to the International Court of Justice ruling orders to stop the military operation in Ukraine, it means that he is not ready to listen even the international law, which all the international community established this law. He's not ready to listen. So somewhere this may sparkle for the Third World War. And if just somewhere or other in some part of the globe we came out from the fighting with coronaviruses, corona pandemic, just still some part of the globe still impacted, but some part we became free. Opposed at the moment in India today, if I say there is a very minimum patient of the corona diseases, it is almost finished in a way. We achieved like a final war in India from coronaviruses. So this kind of war against the global diseases like coronaviruses, we should invest our energy. We should utilize our whatever the human capacity we have, so that the next time we don't get affected. Next time we don't get infected. Indian community or global community became free from disease, which take the human life. But I don't know actually how Mr. Putin's mind is working. He is like I think devil of the world. If I say the devil of the world, I don't have any hesitation, because he is killing the people. Even the military which working under his instruction, under his order, they also getting killed. So after Second World War, this thing, our global community, we have witnessed. Our world has witnessed First World War, Second World War, and found nothing. Nobody has been peaceful by these two wars. So I'm not sure, that whether Mr. Putin will get peace tomorrow or 2023, 2024, or 2025. If he does not get that peace, it is useless destruction. That's why many people condemning it as a war crime.
Yeah, when I listen to you, you worry about world.
Yes.
You very not indifferent. Not indifferent. Some monks, whatever, like Buddhist monks, they're just observing. They're telling, okay, war is bad, etc., but little distant, like neutral. But you feel like person, little Mahayana type, who really worry about situation, whatever happening, but also you think that okay, this is like samsara, it's world of suffering. What we can do? How it's it's not like little contradictory, like by philosophically, it's world like this.
See, Maria, what I feel, the way I'm talking with you, that's not the work actually by us, because we are Buddhist monk, and our first priority is to develop spirituality. Mm-hmm. Even not to develop, not to tell you, but by practice ourselves, This is our priority, top priority. But if somewhere, the people get killed, it's not only 5, 10 people, it's 100 of people, thousands of people get homeless, their houses destroyed, then that is the time you must have to speak, for example. See, for example, I think the first day or the second day, I think after the second day or third day, I exactly forget, we had a small prayer, a few months, we get together. So the prayer for the suffering Ukrainian, and at least praying that Mr. Putin, maybe he has raised his wisdom, so he has stopped to killing other, to take the life of other, This is maybe at the initial phase of this military aggression. And the second phase was, it's like say 10 days ago maybe, or 12 days ago, we had a small, candle march in the evening. We gathered, I think, maybe 50 or something, here, local people. But there was not so many monks. Another monk was there anyway. But still, see, the concerning is that now everybody talks, the entire world is a small human family, because the internet, the scientists, internet technology, brought us very together, from one part of the other part of the globe, very small, So like our human body, for example, if my leg is today not working, my body cannot work. If my hand is, unable, then my body cannot function properly. So similarly, our global community is a small family, we think like that. If somewhere, in a small corner of the world, or in Ukraine and Russia, get impacted by war, by aggression, by killing, so then maybe tomorrow or today, that's other, disease can spread. Today my hand is, infected by disease. Tomorrow my entire body can infected. That is the example, the First World War and Second World War. So if by this way, because the way the leader of the NATO, they are giving arms supply, armory supply, or weaponry supply, that's arise a sense that, maybe this may comes, as a third world war, And for example, there was another news also. Mr. Putin, he ordered, this nuclear arsenal, to make active, So it means that he is ready to use the nuclear bomb. During Second World War in Japan, in Hiroshima, just one atomic bomb became, very clear that what's the human life destruction? What is the meaning of bombardment? Then people get killed, people get diseases, people get finished, nothing more. So if this also come the using of nuclear weapon in this day of today, in Ukraine, then maybe where? Tomorrow maybe in Russia, tomorrow in some other part, then in our own eyes, we will see the Third World War is happening and we are getting killed each other by infection. That is the way I see sometimes. But as I said you, this is not the job of us, because we are, some way or other, we are belong to particular monastic community, as you said, like a Mahayana, First thing is that we are first born as a human being. After that, you follow certain religion, or I follow certain religion, or Mahayana, or Theravada, whatever tradition I follow. First thing, we are human being. So if somewhere, human beings are getting killed, then this is very essential. That thing should not happen. That thing should not come. And whatever the powerful may be the person who is carrying out this thing, whatever the his capacity in the country, or the president or head of the government or head of the country, I think especially individually, I think we should not keep mum. We should not just see and watch and tell nothing. We must open our mouth. But I also see. I also sometimes don't see that, I think ordinary Russian, they are maybe not ready, to kill Ukrainian. Because I see in BBC a lot of Russian, they are protesting about this war. So I don't know whether they are the Russian itself from Russia, or, But just I see in the BBC report in the internet, that there are itself in Russia, they are protesting against this war, against the military invasion. So it shows that only Mr. Putin and his maybe the military commander.
Not people supporting also, not all, but in Russia not so much free mass media.
Oh.
So whatever like central TV and maximum, like some people using YouTube, like can look other informations also. But in many like small villages, so what they can do? Surely they are afraid and thinking that some problem for Russia, it's some dangerous, and they are afraid, and Putin trying to save us. So they like his side taking. Whoever little, like more liberal democratic ideology, for example, me also. So surely more information, listening, analyzing, and understand that something wrong, not like whatever official information. But even we can't do anything because we go for some protest and go to jail. There is why now many people like go out from Russia also. Another country who has more, public figure, few emigrated, because it's danger means.
Yes.
And they are also trying to protest from another country.
Yes.
Because it's a little more safe.
Yes.
But inside country, it's so much danger. And many cases already, there are many people in jail for just little thing. Yeah, just like some no war, going somewhere, no war. So, but war, this world itself should not use. It's no war, it's special operation.
Yes. Yeah, but anyway,
but they telling yes, like social like leaders, they trying to do something, but maximum like idea, it should finish somehow.
Yeah.
Not how.
See, I see in that way, I see in that way that means that, like we see after the Second World War around 1945, then when the UN system, this world community, global community achieved at New York, the United Nations system or United Nations mechanism. So more or less, here and there, some kind of international court of justice, given the punishment in some part of the world. This example is there. So I don't know in future, of course, that day, maybe when the United Nations system was being formulated or established, that time the global leader, at least they could visualize that international peace is very essential. We cannot leave it so that it does not happen again, in any part of the globe.
Not of course, because, for Putin it was a new situation also. He planned something else, but happening something else. Maybe he does not know what to do now also. So many who analyze this situation, he thought that 2-3 days we take this territory and finish.
Okay.
But it's no one expected that the Ukrainians started to oppose so much.
Resisting so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that is why we can't tell. We not. It looks like they don't know what to do.
Okay.
They can't stop because it's like we can't tell that we wanted to win, but not win. It's not possible.
Okay.
So it looks like it's continued till it's something happened.
Okay. I see, other ways, but maybe people may not believe me. I feel that, I don't know in future how many years again, Mr. Putin became, president as a continue, but after
2 years, 2024, it's
after next election. Okay. Yeah. So I think his opposition, one of the leader is in jail. I think that's I don't know his name. I saw in the BBC news. Yeah.
Other leaders not. Strong
okay, so maybe next in 2024, if he's get defeated, for example, after the election, for example, then maybe, the international court of justice, that may follow, him, that how the war crime happened by his instruction. Then that's what I see, that if in 2024, Russian election given mandate, public give the mandate to another person or another party, for example, then maybe I see that Mr. Putin will be in the jail.
Yes, now this war, it's not so much, they can't move. They just stacking.
Okay.
Ukrainian army, Russian army, they can't proceed anywhere. And it's long continue like this.
In the ground?
Yeah, some, and of course whatever, cities there, it's horrible. Because all, their all power destruction, only few cities. They can't go ahead.
Yes.
They don't
come back also.
They don't go back. Why they go back? They want ahead, but Ukrainian not allowed.
Yeah, resisting allowed.
So in these few cities, it looks like completely it's become nothing after some times from this.
Yes. Especially some picture.
And it can continue. According to now situation, it can few months continue without win, without loss.
See, in a word, if today Buddha used to have been maybe alive, himself alive, I'm sure, Buddha used to tell that, of course, he himself practiced by himself, that the middle path, Middle path means if you have any differences, for example. Normally, I think the modern diplomacy, modern diplomat, they may call diplomatic channel. Because they have particular word now, terminology. They use diplomatic terminology. They used to call maybe negotiation, international negotiation. Let us discuss, let us talk, which is how the diplomacy work, how the diplomat function. So, but the Buddha maybe used to tell, to follow the middle path, so that you don't get killing each other, or you don't get, the way, by the desire you are being driven to capture the country, to capture the people, or to subjugate, their, country, their government, and their land, and destroying everything. And of course, if there is any kind of sense of humanity, I'm sure that cannot make any people,
Of humanity, it's little difference in this situation.
Yes.
Because his condition. Okay, Donetsk, Lugansk area, they should become independent. Like Crimea also, still Ukraine not allows it. Crimea also not our territory, but it's Russian territory. Okay, if these three, Donetsk, Lugansk independent, Crimea is Russia. No any NATO, of course. So, but Zelensky telling not, no any, because he's thinking if I give Donetsk, Lugansk area, Crimea, and Putin not stop, he more.
Capture other part.
He think like this.
Yeah, that's the thing I think I watched in the BBC. They say that even the Mr. Putin is, opposing that the Zelensky and his government, the Mr. Dmitry Kuleba, the foreign minister of Ukraine, they are trying to become member of NATO. So once they become a member, NATO, then the other military, nearly doorstep of the Russian border. So maybe that's Mr. Putin feel insecure that other country may capture.
NATO now telling we also we don't go. That situation no solution. It's really something should happen. Otherwise, right now, no any solution. It looks like.
Yeah.
We hope that nuclear bomb not use.
Yes. That's I feel
if
also.
Not use, it's just long time. This continues this unclear situation.
See, I must give you that reference actually. Sometimes, our most beloved, they call people president, in India, people president, Mr. Abdul Kalam. Actually, he was not a career politician. He was a scientist, regarded best scientist of India. And finally, he became president of India. So I don't know how he desired to visit the Bodh Gaya. He came Bodh Gaya, and he wanted to interact with the monk also. So of course, anyway, the president of the India coming to visit, and he desired to see, to talk with the monk or to talk with the monk, Then I thought, okay, since they are inviting, I should also go there. Then we met under the Bodhi tree exactly. There was a small arrangement, we sat there. Then he was talking about because he was a university professor also earlier, so there was no doubt of his scholarship, He had a very vast knowledge and one of the top scientists those days, and before becoming president, he was, I think, chief scientific advisor to the government of India. So he had a very good knowledge. There was as an academician, as a nuclear scientist, and he was even considered, in India, even outside of India, he was the brain, to have the nuclear arsenal in India, in a nuclear bomb, He was the creator, anyway. So under the Bodhi tree, he was just interacting with the monk, And then I just said, Mr. President, that you see, this is very good. You are as a president of our country, and you came in Bodh Gaya, you are interacting with the monk. But the thing is that the creation which you did, that the nuclear bomb in India, even the Indian community and international community consider you are the brain who has created the nuclear arsenal in India. By your fear, by your action, the Pakistanis cannot sleep properly. The people in Pakistan, they are afraid of that bomb. And now you came under the Bodhi tree, and Buddha hated the bomb. And Buddha talked nuclear disarmament. He does not like nuclear bomb. He does not like gun. And you created that bomb, and you came under the Bodhi tree. So this makes kind of, contradiction, So he just listened very, very carefully. He listened me very carefully, and he was trying also to explain that the national security is important and essential, and of course he was explaining in that way. So see, at least he could understood maybe whatever I told him, that by your action, some people are having kind of fear that I may get killed. So he realized that thing. That's why he very scholarly, he explained that the national security we cannot also ignore, and it's also very essential part of our Indian life. And so anyway, I wanted to have next question, and he seated up and he started walking. So everybody walk. So anyway, this is one of the example. But I feel that Mr. Kalam, he was actually people president. Even I personally love also. I have also respect for him. The way I raised my question, whatever in my mind I had, and he very, very politely, he tried to explain. And somebody told me that he has written even in his own book. I never read that book actually. Somebody told me that, President Kalam wrote about your question and you interact under the Bodhi tree. So that's not the important. Important is that being the president of the country, and if somebody raised that kind of question, at least very peacefully and very politely listening, and have that kind of capacity, that kind of passion, that is unique.
But do you think humanity developing by this way? You know how many countries basically more democratic, and only few remains with dictatorship, who are authority like government. Basically, like it looks like development of society in such direction. It's just, it remains like some old, very old, by power get something, by fighting get something. But now possible many things solved by negotiation.
See, in this way, as I mentioned, Mr. Kalam, of course, I have never read his biography also, but I know that he was very poor background from South India, and I consider him, he was a people president in India. And of course, it was not, direct election by the people, but there's a public, we have another system by elected member of, representative public, they nominate, they make the president in another way, not by the direct public vote, But anyway, I myself consider he was a people president because the vision he watched for India, and he's no more physically, he died. But the lecture, which is available in internet, I have watched a few lectures. So I got the impression that this Mr. Kalam, as a president, as a scientist of India, he had really different kind of vision, for India, to have more prosperous India, more peaceful India, and more, developing India. But I don't think, he had even, although he was the brainchild to create nuclear arsenal in India, or nuclear bomb in India, but I think even he had never vision, that kind of, to use it against, against somebody's country, or the purpose to use it to kill others, I don't think that, he had that kind of the idea, that since we have the nuclear bomb, now at any moment we can use, against the enemy country. I don't think that he had that kind of thing. And the way still I think people remember him, I think that's maybe generation to come, if they read about his idea after being the president of India. Remaining so humble, remaining so much, how to say, like a people-friendly, you can say, people-friendly, and accessible to his people. Once I read, I think in Hindustan Time, it says that, some of his relatives, they are still in South India, they came to visit in Delhi in, we call Rashtrapati Bhavan, presidential, office, you can say. So maybe there are rooms somewhere, if the presidents come, any guests, they stay there. So he wanted to pay for that. Actually, his own relative, they came, and the Rashtrapati Bhavan is under his use, He can keep his guests, he can, entertain his guests, provide room and provide accommodation. But he still wanted to pay for that. So that came in the Hindustan Time. So this kind of president, I think, because it does not mean that I'm an Indian, that's why I'm just praising my own previous president. It is not like that. I think in every country, whether in Russia or in Ukraine, I think anywhere, this kind of president, I think people would have, love, to have this kind of president. It's so people friendly, so for the interest of the people, for the country, And I heard another person name, that is, I think Lee Kuan Yew, I think he was the Prime Minister of Singapore. Yeah, I heard about, in internet I saw some kind of, videos that he also did a lot of things in Singapore so that kind of president or Prime Minister, wherever, either in Singapore or in India or in Malaysia or in Ukraine, I think people would love to have, So they can smile peace to the people. They can, stop the war, They can stop the destruction of the people's lives.
Okay, my last question. Ultimately, you think or you believe that samsara itself can be a wonderful world for living, with good political system, with good leaders. It is possible, ultimately.
See, that in a way, one example. Before the 100 year or 200 year, what happened? That is only historian maybe the writing, and those who read in history book, they know. We don't know, 100 year ago what kind of thing happened, what kind of thing take place in the world. But today, 2022, 2022, whatever we see the coronaviruses since 2019, 2019, coronavirus affairs before the life of the global community, and different kind of vaccination, program came by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare of each and every country. Even the World Health Organization actively, did to try to stop this disease. Of course, rapidly or gradually, this disease, make us like a, inside the room, or inside your house. So, more or less, 2022, we are today kind of say that, okay, this virus became maybe minimum, or somewhere exist, but of course, finish maybe. So, similarly, there is another war we have, before you, before me, before everybody in the world, there is global warming. There is climate change. So if this climate change, our leader, who formulate our future, who formulate the future of the world, future of the global community, if they are not serious and sincere, I see that the destruction would come where nobody will be safe. But because the example, sometime even in India, somewhere, suddenly, no prediction. Suddenly, see, kind of, strong, wind comes and, strong kind of, the volcanic eruption comes. Then, it is like more destruction than the war even. Like tsunamis, in the seashore areas, or like even 2021 we see in West Bengal, there is a word they use, I forget now, that's what they, there is a seashore areas, a lot of water sources, came, and many people became homeless.
But like technically, scientifically, it's possible to do something. Yeah, I think it's possible.
I also feel so.
Just
I also feel
need
so.
to do. So, okay, if this problem will be solved, if like a political problem will be solved, ultimately, can be this world be not like we call like samsaric, like world of suffering?
What I feel, what I feel, see, it depends, say for example, like 20 years earlier, for example, 20 years earlier, we don't have everybody mobile set in our pocket or in our possession. We just normal human being, maybe communicate through journey or through kind of the small mobile set was there. That time everybody used. Now in every house, each one we carry a mobile set for communication, keeping each and other in touch. If the scientific community, whether in India or outside of India, if they are given more, say outside financial resources or money, kind of that kind of resources, then they maybe can create machine, so that where earthquake going to happen, they can predict 1 month earlier, or 6 months earlier, or maybe 2 weeks earlier. So then the government can take preventive measure. See, for example, if today there is a tsunami here, for example, it is 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, if there is a scientific, methodology or technique or machine, it says that, oh, this is going to happen after, 2 weeks or after 3 weeks. So that will be beneficial for you, for us, for everybody.
Technically, I think it's possible if do. But the question is, according to Buddhist philosophy, it's never finished, this world of suffering. But if we look a little more like scientifically, it can be. Just a good management in every area of life, like political, economical, educational, like surrounding, whatever nature. And it looks like possible. Then this world will be not like world of suffering. Okay, remains some maybe ill, but it more we can treatment. Some psychological ill, it's also, because it's also some reason, because of relationship, or it's also possible to solve. Okay, like dying remains. Dying, if we all life living happily, maybe not so much big problem to die. It looks like possible, like stop maximum.
I see the possibility, because the reason is that, as I said, 20 years earlier, the technologist or the scientist, They could not bring that machine, the mobile set, 20 years earlier in every house.
Electricity, it's very
yes.
suffering in Buddha time. I even can't imagine how more people suffering between medicine, without medical science, without many whatever we are using now. Surely when Buddha look all of this, he looks at like suffering. Now maybe less already.
Yeah, so I feel, that it's the scientific community, they get proper, because I understand for recharging, to creating that kind of machine, it takes also very hard work. Say for example, even for the monks, to practicing meditation is not easy, It's like a lot of effort, a lot of energy, You need a lot of, make effort, very hard effort. Then you can calm the mind, then you can practice it. It's not easy, you just, I can do it. So I feel even, I imagine that, although I don't have, a kind of, that kind of skill, kind of things, how they make the mobile machine, mobile set, which is very useful for communication, for collecting information. So if that scientific communities or technologies, they get proper, I feel they need also resources where they can easily make those things, then they combine, then they create in the form of, say, mobile set or in the form of computer machine, or laptop machine. So that thing, they maybe use the same machine for other purposes, like prediction, where maybe sudden volcanic eruption or sudden, tsunami is, can be predicted or can be, detected by the machine or by that kind of scientific mind, then I'm sure, the suffering can be lessened. But it does not make that you become free from suffering. These are external suffering. Even Buddha said that internal suffering, what? As I told you, desire. You have maybe one big company, you want that company in Singapore, you want that company in Moscow, you want that company in Kiev, everywhere, that company. So that desire makes you drive and tirelessly, you are running, nowhere is a stop.
So ultimately samsara can't stop. Because if it's human nature, such like, we live in good, technical, good surrounding, but you think we become still greedy, still feel anger?
That can stop also. Like we see the example, how Buddha became silent. For example, how Buddha became silent. Of course, he was born as a prince, but he never used his royal life. He left it, he renounced it, and he became silent. Silent means in the sense, we call, in Pali language, Jothakari tatabasi, Jotabasi tatakari. In Pali terminology, we call it, whatever the necessary, Buddha just speak that. And whatever the necessary, Buddha just do that. Nothing more, nothing less. And whatever the future, tomorrow, after 1 hour, or after 3 years, 4 years, Buddha never think. And whatever the past, 1 month ago, 1 week ago, 100 years ago, Buddha never think. But he lives in the present. So through living the present, and that is the present moment, that is the golden moment. And that's only who knows that technique. Only the follower of the Buddha. What is that? The present moment is the golden moment. And what is that golden moment? And you are aware about the golden moment and how you get the time to kill other. How you get the time to kill other. And Buddha advised to be absorbed in the golden moment, the present moment. People may not believe his word. Even when he was alive, people still don't believe in his word. And now Buddha is, of course, no more. It is in scripture. And his follower only we study and we know only. The monk community know it. But other people may not be easy, to accept it. Oh, Buddha said this thing. Is it possible? Is it possible? How it is possible?
So ultimately, need to decrease desire, otherwise no chance to live.
Yes, yes. That is the Buddha said that.
And it looks like no possible, what we already discussed, that human can't stop their desires.
And if
Only few.
yes, if the desire is not stopped by the human, then Buddha also said the result is fire. Because when you have endless desire, what the endless desire make you, that make fire. So that burn everything. That's burn everything. But like a fire, when you have the fire, it does not say you are Iranian. The fire, it does not say you are Indian. The fire, it does not say you are Russian. The fire, it does not discriminate, oh, you are Ukrainian, so fire does not work. The fire does not say you are from Thailand, oh, fire does not work. Once fire, everybody gets burned there. So similarly, the desire, wherever the desire have, and the desire, drives you endlessly running behind that to fulfill it, then the fire also follow it.
Okay, I understood your point of view. Can you very shortly some last maybe your wish to Russian auditory, Russian people, what you can wish them?
Okay, I feel as the Russian invasion or military aggression take place in Mariupol, in nearby the Kiev and some other part of Ukraine, I feel many of the Russians, they are not happy with this killing or with this military aggression. But I hope the power to stop it, it is not in their hand. So sometimes we India only see in the television channel, some people are coming out in the street and they're protesting about this war. What I see that is very good, that at least you are not agree with Mr. Putin, so that's why you are showing that you don't want to see that Russian army kill Ukrainian. That's why you are coming out in the street and protesting. And I welcome it and I appreciate it.
In our discussion with Priyapal, we came to the conclusion that in Buddhist philosophy there are no solutions to the world's problem at the social level. And very few people follow Buddhism, although its history more than 2,500 years. When people meditate, what is really happening? They start to do kind of compromise. I will explain. For example, someone insults Buddhist practitioner. He stops himself, tries to remain calm, not feel anger, not insult in return. It looks like very good, yes? But the question is, why did someone insult you? He had a reason for this. And it's not just because in him there are ignorance or anger. This answer is very unconvincing. Even a modern psychology gives more deeper explanation. The external conditions in which we live are quite bad. People live in the middle of wars, poverty, and uncertainty about present and future. They can't fulfill many of their wishes in such conditions. And all of this has a strong effect on people. If these external reasons are not removed, how can we hope to stop anger and other negative mental and emotional reactions? Bad conditions affect Buddhists too. No matter how much someone meditates and stops his wishes, it's not possible to always keep mind in peace when so many bad things happening around. Or you should become completely indifferent, but it's not the meaning of meditation. Therefore, even a Buddhist practitioner can't always keep mind in peace only by meditation. And we need to continue to compromise with the world or with yourself. Here the question arises, why Buddha did not analyze more deeply the possibility of social management, did not find a solution to social problems? It looks like he deeply accepted the idea that this world, samsara, will always be like this, and human nature is impure. So always war and injustice will continue here. Therefore, the way to salvation is purify yourself and reach nirvana. But there are no exact proofs that nirvana exists. However, modern Buddhists still try to convince people that Buddhism can solve social problems. Bhante Priyapal said that if one aggressive politician will practice meditate for just 10 days, his thoughts will change and he will realize his mistakes. What a baseless hope. Why would he like to do meditation for 10 days? Who will convince him? I asked Bhante, there are high-level practitioners who have superpower, as in Buddhist story, who can convince even one politician. It looks like no. Bhante said that he wants that many people unite and oppose the aggressive policy. Explain to the leaders that instead of wars, they should solve climate and poverty problems. Then politicians understand that most people against war and stop it. But this is not a Buddhist way, but social activity. Apparently, Bhante himself understands there are no solutions in Buddhism, so he looks for other way and shows his civil opinion as a human being, not as Buddhist. But we know how many people in all world are protesting against aggressions, wars, but it don't stop. The politicians don't listen. And there is also the example of Buddhist leader Dalai Lama. For more than 60 years, he has been trying to return to Tibet, to achieve its autonomy, but without success. And he remains as a political exile in India. So, we realized that in Buddhism there are no realistic solutions to the social problems. But at our Universal Life Management Organization, we offer solutions to many social, economical, and political problems. According to our research, human nature is not bad. Problems only arise because of poor social management. But thanks to the introduction of new model of society, every person from birth to death will be able to live the life he wants, realizing all his natural potentials. There will be no reasons for conflicts, competitions and wars. The world naturally becomes peaceful. You can see this is possible by reading our books and listening to our videos and audiobooks. You can find a link below this video. To be continued. See you again.